If the system of linear equations results in two parallel lines, the system is inconsistent. Okay? If the system of linear equations results in two intersecting lines, the system is consistent. And if the system of linear equations results in a single line, the system is dependent. Solve each system of equations with using the following methods: elimination or substitution method. 2x minus 7y equals 3. Negative 5x plus 3y equals 7. Since none of the coefficients are 1 or negative 1, I will use the elimination method. So we decide to eliminate x. We are going to multiply 5 on the top equation. And we will multiply 2 on the bottom equation so that the coefficients of x will be opposite. So we have 10x minus 35y equals 15. The bottom equation becomes negative 10x plus 6y equals 14. By adding both equations, we can eliminate x terms and we're left with negative 29y equals 29. By dividing both sides by negative 29, we get y equals negative 1. Now we're going to substitute y equals 1 into one of the original equations. I'm going to use 2x minus 7y equals 3. So 2x minus 7 times negative 1 equals 3. 2x plus 7 equals 3. So 2x equals negative 4. So you get x equals negative 2. So the answer is negative 2 comma negative 1. Solve each system of equations with using the following method: matrices. First, we write the system in matrix form. 2, negative 7, 3, and on the bottom we have negative 5, 3, and 7. First, we multiply the top row by 1/2 so that we can get 1 on the top number. So we get 1 and -7/2 and 3/2 on the top row. The bottom row does not change. Since we want the -5 to become 0, we are going to multiply the row 1 by 5 and add that onto row 2. So the top row does not change. 1, -7/2 and 3/2. In the bottom row, we have 1 times 5 plus -5, which is 0 for the first entry. Next, we have -7/2 times 5 plus 3, which is -29/2. On the last entry, we have 3/2 times 5 plus 7, which is 29/2. Since we have a 0 on the left bottom, we're successfully done with matrices. So we're going to put the matrix form into the original form. Notice that the left column is the X column, and the middle column is the Y column. So we can write the bottom row as -29/2 y equals 29/2. So y equals -1. The top row translates into 1x minus 7/2 y equals 3/2. By substituting -1 in y, we get x plus 7/2 equals 3/2. When you solve for x, you get x equals -2. Solve each system of equations with using following methods: elimination or substitution method. We are going to use elimination method. First, we're going to multiply the top row by -1. So we have -2x minus y minus z equals -7. By adding the equation to the second original equation, which is 3x plus 2y plus z equals 9, we have x plus y equals 2. Let's call this equation A. Now, I'm going to choose the equation 1 and equation 3 next and multiply the top equation by -2. So we have -4x minus 2y minus 2z equals -14. By adding the third equation onto that, we have -2x minus y equals -5. Let's call this equation B. Finally, we're going to add x plus 1 equals 2 to -2x minus y equals -5. Since the coefficient of y is the opposite, you can go ahead and add two equations. So we get -x equals -3. By dividing both sides by -1, we get x equals 3. So we're going to substitute x equals 3 into the equation A. So 3 plus y equals 2, so y equals -1. Evaluate the determinant. 5, -1, 2, 3. Notice that we have 2 by 2 matrix. So we multiply 5 by 3 and subtract -1 times 2. So we have 15 plus 2. That will give us 17 as the answer. Note that if you have 2 by 2 determinant A, B, C, D, this is given by A times D minus B times C. Evaluate the determinant. Notice that we have 3 by 3 determinant matrices. So first, we multiply 3, which is the top entry, by 2, 1, 3, 5, which is right here. Then we subtract 4 times determinant 0, -2, 3, 5, which is right here. Finally, we add -2 times 0, -2, 2, 1, which is right here. So we have 3 times 2 times 5 minus 3 times 1 minus 4 times 0 times 5 minus 3 times -2 plus -2 times 0 times 1 minus 2 times -2. So we have 3 times 10 minus 3 minus 4 times 0 plus 6 plus -2 times 0 plus 4. So 3 times 7 minus 4 times 6 minus 2 times 4, which is 21 minus 24 minus 8. That will give us negative 11 as the answer. Graph the solution to the system of inequalities. Indicate the boundary lines and the test point. First, we're going to graph 2x minus y equals 2. Let us solve for y. So negative y equals negative 2x plus 2. So the y equals 2x minus 2. So we go down by negative 2, which is the y-intercept of the equation. And since slope is 2 over 1, we go up by 2 and over by 1. This is our second point. Now, since inequality is just less than, we're going to use the dashed line. Now we're going to find test point. Test point, we're going to use 0, 0, which is this point right here. We plug this point into the original inequality to see if the statement is true. So 2 times 0 minus 0 is less than 2. This 0 is less than 2. This is a true statement, so we know that the side that includes 0, 0 is the true side. Now let's look at the second equation. 3x plus 2y equals 6. Let us solve for y. 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. So y equals negative 3 halves x plus 3. So we go up by 3, that's the y-intercept. And the rise will be negative 3, so we go down by 3 and over by 2. So our next point is right there. Since we have greater than or equal to, the equal, if you have an equal sign underneath, then we're going to use a solid line. So we have a solid line instead of a dashed line. Now the test point. Again, we're going to use 0, 0 as a test point. Plugging 0, 0 into the original inequality, we have 3 times 0 plus 2 times 0 is greater than or equal to 6. 0 is greater than or equal to 6. This is a false statement. So the side that has the 0, 0, which is the down side, which is false. So we're going to shade above the line. The answer will be where they have in common. So where these two shadings overlap is right here. So this is the answer. A chemistry lab assistant wants to prepare 10 liters of 48% acid solution. In stock, he has 80% and 40% acid solutions. How many liters of each in stock solution should he mix to prepare a 10-liter mixture? Let X be the amount in liters of 80% solution, and let Y be the amount of 40% solution. So first, we know that the X plus Y will be 10. And when we multiply 0.4, the 40% in decimals, X plus 0.8x plus 0.4y equals 10 times 0.48. This will calculate the pure acid in solution. So we're going to solve this system. First, solve the first equation for x. So we have x equals 10 minus y. Then substitute 10 minus y into the x into x of the second equation. So we have 0.8 times 10 minus y plus 0.4y equals 4.8. So 8 minus 0.8y plus 0.4y equals 4.8. By combining like terms, negative 0.4y equals negative 3.2. So y equals 8. Since x plus y equals 10, x plus 8 should be 10, so the x equals 2. So we have 8 liters of 40% solution and 2 liters of 80% solution. A plane can travel 800 miles per hour with the wind and 720 miles per hour against the wind. Find the speed of the wind and the speed of the plane in still air. Set up a system of equations and solve. Let x be the speed of the plane in still air, and let y be the speed of the wind when the plane is going with the wind. The speed of the wind is helping the speed of the plane in still air. So the total speed will be x plus y equals 800 miles per hour. When the plane is going against the wind is slowing down the plane. So we subtract the speed of the wind from the speed of the plane. So we get x minus y equals 720. By adding both equations, we have 2x equals 1520. By dividing both sides by 2, x equals 760. Now we substitute x equals 760 into one of the original equations. By using the top equation, we have x plus y equals 800, where x is 760. plus y equals 800. So y is 800 minus 760, which is 40. So the answer is the speed of the wind is 40 miles per hour, and speed of the plane in still air is 760 miles per hour. Admission tickets to the Brazen River Little League All-Star Game cost $4 for adults and $1.50 for children. A total of 225 tickets were sold, and a total of $500 was collected from ticket sales. How many adult tickets and how many children's tickets were sold? Let X be the number of adult tickets, and let Y be the number of children's tickets. So since we have a total of 225 tickets, X plus Y should be 225. In terms of the value of the amount that are sold, 4 times X plus 1.5 times Y is $500. By solving the first equation for X, we have X equals 225 minus Y. So, by plugging in into the second equation, we have 4 times 225 minus Y plus 1.5Y equals 500. So we have 900 minus 4y plus 1.5y equals 500. So negative 2.5y equals negative 400. So y is $160. To find X, we substitute Y equals 160 into the top equation. So X plus 160 equals 225. So X equals 65. So we have 160 children's tickets. And we have 65 adult tickets. Simplify. 2 squared minus 2 cubed plus 4 times 3 squared plus negative 3 squared. The opposite of 2 squared is negative 4 minus 2 cubed, which is 8, plus 4 times 3 squared, which is 9, plus the parenthesis negative 3 squared, which is positive 9. Negative 4 minus 8 plus 4 times 9, which is 36, plus 9. Negative 4 minus 8 is negative 12, and by adding 36 plus 9, we have 24 plus 9. The answer is 33. Simplify. 2x minus 3 to the 0th power. The answer is 1. Note that if you take a 0th power to any number, you get 1. Since all the bases were included in the parentheses, this will be your base, 2x minus 3. And since we have a 0th power, the answer will be 1. Simplify. 4 divided by 3 to the negative 1 minus 4 to the negative 2 times 4 cubed. 4 divided by 3 to the negative 1, which is 1/3, minus 4 to the negative 2, which is 1 over 4 squared, times 4 cubed. So 4 divided by 1/3 minus 1 over 4 squared, which is 16, times 4 cubed, which is 64. 4 over 1 times 3 over 1 minus 1 over 16 times 64 over 1. 4 times 3 is 12. Since 16 goes in 64 4 times, we have 4. So 12 minus 4 equals 8. Simplify and write the answer with positive exponents only. A to the 4th power, b c to the negative 2 over a to the negative 3 b c squared to the negative 1. First, by power rule, negative 1 is to get distributed to all the factors inside the brackets. So we have a to the negative 4 to b to the negative 1 times c squared over a cubed times b to the negative 1 times c to the negative 2. Since these 4 factors have negative exponents, first I bring down the a to the negative 4 and change the negative 4 to positive 4. Then I bring down the b to the negative 1 on the bottom and change the positive negative 1 to positive 1. And then, since b to the negative 1 is in the bottom, I'm bringing it up and change the negative 1 to positive 1. And c to the negative 2 becomes c squared on top. Now these two factors, c squared and a cubed, do not have negative exponents, so they stay where they were before. Now we do not have any negative exponents, so we can add or subtract the exponents. Since we have only b1 factor, b is on top. We have c squared times c squared, so we have c to the 4th power. We add the exponents. In the bottom, we have b, and since we have 2 bases that are the same, a, so we add the exponents, so we get a to the 7th. And we can cancel the b's on top and bottom. The answer will be c to the 4th over a to the 7th power. Write the answer with positive exponents only. Cube root of negative 64 could be written as negative 64 to 1/3. Notice that negative 64 is negative 4 cubed. So negative 4 cubed to the 1/3. This is same as negative 4, so 3 times 1/3 by power rule. Negative 4 to the first power, which is negative 4. Simplify and write the answer with positive exponents only. 2xy cubed squared over x squared y to the negative 1 cubed. First, we use the power rule to each factor, so we have 2 squared times x squared times y to the negative 6. Y to the positive 6. And we have x to the 6th power times y to the negative 3. Now negative 3 is the negative exponent, so we're going to bring the whole factor up. So we have y cubed on the top, and the bottom we have just x to the 6th power, and everything else stays on top. So 4 times x squared times xy to the 6th times y third. So by adding 6 and 3, we have 4x squared y to 9th power over x to 6th power. We can use the quotient rule here. So 4 times y to the 9th times x to the 2 minus 6, which is 4y to the 9th power times x to the negative 4. But since negative 4 is negative exponent, we bring down the bottom and change the negative 4 to positive 4. So the answer is 4y to the 9th power over x to the 4th power. What is the degree of each polynomial? 8x cubed plus 27x squared minus 21. The degree of polynomial will be the biggest exponent, biggest sum of the exponents. So we have the degree of 3 for the first term, and the degree is 2 for the second term. So the bigger one is 3. So the answer is 3. You look at the exponents to find out. What is the degree of each polynomial? X cubed plus 2x squared y squared minus 11. The degree of the first term will be 3. And the degree of the second term will be, you add the exponent, so the degree is 4. Since 4 is bigger than 3, the degree of the polynomial is 4. Factor completely. 8x cubed plus 27. Notice that 8x cubed is given by 2x to the 3rd power, and 27 is written as 3 cubed. The formula says a plus a cubed plus b cubed equals a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. So first we add 2x and 3 and square the first term and subtract the product of first and second term and add the square of the third term. So 2x plus 3 times 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. Factor completely. A cubed minus 8b squared cubed. Notice that 8b cubed is written as 2b to the third power. The formula says a cubed minus b cubed equals a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So in this case, a is a and b is 2b. So a minus 2b times a squared plus a times 2b plus 2b squared, which is a minus 2b times a squared plus 2ab plus 4b squared. Factor completely. X to the fourth power minus 5x squared minus 36. Let x squared be y. Then we're going to rewrite the expression in terms of y. So we get y squared minus 5y minus 36. By using X chart, we have negative 5 on the bottom, and the 1 times negative 36 goes on top. So 4 times negative 9 will give us negative 36, and 4 plus negative 9 will give us negative 5. So 4 and negative 9 is the right combination. So y plus 4 times y minus 9, but y was really x squared, so substitute x squared into y, we get x squared plus 4 times x squared minus 9. Now notice that x squared minus 9 is written as x squared minus 3 squared. There's a difference of squared. So we can rewrite this as x plus 3 times x minus 3. Factor completely. 81 minus z to the fourth power. Notice that 81 is 9 squared, and z to the fourth power is z squared squared. So by using the difference of squared, we have 9 plus z squared times 9 minus z squared, which is 9 plus z squared, and notice that 9 is 3 squared and minus z squared, so we can use the difference of squared here as well. So we have 3 plus z times 3 minus z. Factor completely. 4x squared minus 12x minus 16. First, factor out 4 so that we get 4 times x squared minus 3x minus 4. By using X chart, we have negative 3 on the bottom and 1 times negative 4, which is negative 4. So we have 1 times negative 4 will give us negative 4, and 1 plus negative 4 will give us negative 3. So we can factor this as x plus 1 times x minus 4 times 4. Factor completely. 2xy squared plus 6x squared yz. The greatest common factor, which is GCF, is 2 and 1x and 1y. These factors are the ones that both terms have in common. So by dividing both terms by 2xy, we get y for the first term, and we get 3x and z for the second term. Factor completely. A squared plus 3a minus 2a minus 6. First, we look at the first two terms. Factoring out a from both terms, we have a times a plus 3, and by factoring out negative 2 from both the second terms, we have negative 2 times a plus 3. Notice that these two terms now have a plus 3 in common, so we factor out a plus 3, and a minus 2 will go in the second parentheses. Factor completely by substitution. 6 times p minus 5 squared plus 11 times p minus 5 plus 3. Let p minus 5 equals x. So we can rewrite the messy expression in terms of x. So 6x squared plus 11x plus 3. To factor that, we're going to use the x chart. 6 times 3 is 18, and 11 goes on the bottom. 2 times 9 will give us 18, and 2 plus 9 will give us 11. So we're going to rewrite this as 6x squared plus 2x plus 9x plus 3. By using the grouping method, we can take out 2x from the first two terms. So we have 2x times 3x plus 1 plus 3 times 3x plus 1. Now we have 3x plus 1 in common, so by factoring out that, we have 3x plus 1 times 2x plus 3. Now your x was really p minus 5, so I'm going to substitute p minus 5 for x. We get 3 times p minus 5 plus 1 times 2 times p minus 5 plus 3. When you simplify that, you get 3p minus 14 times 2p minus 7. Solve by factoring. 4x cubed plus 4x squared minus 48x equals 0. First, we factor out 4x to get x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. By factoring out x squared plus x minus 12, we have 4x times x minus 3 times x plus 4 equals 0. We've said that each factor equals to 0. So 4x equals 0, and that gives us x equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0, so it means x equals 3, and x plus 4 equals 0, so we have x equals negative 4. Solve by factoring. X times x minus 12 equals negative 20. First, we distribute x to both terms inside the parentheses, so x squared minus 12x equals negative 20. We have x squared minus 12x plus 20 equals 0. By solving by factoring, we have x minus 2 times x minus 10 equals 0. So x equals 2 or 0 or 10. Divide. 3x cubed y fifth minus 12x y to the 10th minus 21xy over 3xy. We divide each numerator term by 3xy. So 3 has been cancelled, so we have x squared on top and y to the 4th power on top, and we have 1 on the bottom. Minus 3 goes in 12 4 times, and x is gone, and we have y to the 9th power on top, and we have 1 on the bottom. Minus 3 goes into 21 7 times, and x and y have been cancelled, so we have 7 over 1. So the answer is x squared times y to the 4th power minus 4y to the 9th minus 7. Divide. X squared minus x minus 13 divided by x plus 3. First, we look at the very left terms, and we divide x squared by x, so we get x that goes on top. Then you multiply the x by x plus 3, so we have x squared plus 3x that goes on the bottom. And we subtract. When you subtract, make sure that the sign will change to negative. So we have 0 for the first terms, but the second terms we have negative 4x. And then bring down the next term, and we do the same procedure one more time. So we have negative 4x over x, which is negative 4, so that goes on top, and we multiply the answer by x plus 3, so we have negative 4x minus 12. By subtracting, we have negative 1. So The answer is x minus 4 minus 1 over x plus 3. Subtract negative x squared plus 3x plus 5 from 4x minus 6x plus 2. So, since it says subtract A from B, basically we have to operate B minus A. So 4x squared minus 6x plus 2 minus negative x squared plus 3x plus 5. 4x squared minus 6x plus 2 plus x squared minus 3x minus 5. By adding 4x to 1x squared, we have 5x squared, and negative 6x minus 3x is negative 9x, and at the end we have a positive 2 and negative 5. That will give us negative 3. Multiply 4x squared y cubed times xy minus 20x to the fifth y 7 minus 2y. So we distribute the 4x squared y cubed to each term. So we have 4x cubed y to the fourth power by adding exponents minus 4 times 20, which is 80, x to the 7th y 10th minus 8x squared times y to the fourth power. Multiply 2x plus 1 times 3x squared minus x plus 2. First, we're going to multiply 2x to each term in the second parenthesis. So 2x times 3x squared is 6x cubed minus 2x times x is 2x squared. Then 2x times 2 will be plus 4x. And next we multiply 1 to each term in the second parenthesis. So we have plus 3x squared minus x plus 2. By combining like terms, we have 6x cubed plus x squared plus 3x plus 2. Multiply 2x plus 5 squared. 2x plus 5 squared means 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. So by using FOIL method, 2x times 2x equals 4x squared. 2x times 5 is positive 10x. 5 times 2x is 10x. And 5 times 5 is 25. By combining like terms, we have 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. Find all the x-intercepts of the graph of the equation. Y equals 12x cubed minus 39x squared plus 30x. X-intercepts are where y equals 0. So we set y equals 0 to find the x-intercepts. So 0 equals 12x cubed minus 39x squared plus 30x. First, we factor out 3x, which is GCF of all three terms, to get 4x squared minus 13x plus 10. By x chart, we have 40 on top and negative 13 on the bottom. So negative 5 and negative 8 will give us 40 when we multiply these two numbers, and negative 5 plus negative 8 will give us negative 13. So 0 equals 3x times 4x squared minus 5x minus 8x plus 10. And by grouping, we have x times 4x minus 5 times negative 2 times 4x minus 5. Since we have the same factors, we can take that out and get 4x minus 5 times x minus 2 equals 0. So we have three factors. 1, 3x equals 0, 4x minus 5 equals 0, and the last one will be x minus 2 equals 0. By solving each equation, we get x equals 0, or x equals 5/4, or x equals 2. One leg of the right triangle is 4 centimeters less than the other leg. The area of the triangle is 70 square centimeters. Determine the length of each leg. First, let x be one leg. Let y be the other leg of a right triangle. So x and y. Okay, so since one leg, which is x, is 4 centimeters less than the other leg, we have an equation x equals y minus 4. Now, since the area of the triangle is 70 square centimeters, we're going to use the area formula, which is A equals 1/2 times the base times height, where in this case the base is the y and height is the x. So 1/2 times y times x, this will give us 70 square inches. Now we're going to solve this system. By substituting y minus 4 into the x in the second equation, we have 70 equals 1/2 y times y minus 4. First, we multiply both sides by 2 to eliminate the fraction. So we have 140 equals y squared minus 4y after we distribute y to each term inside the parentheses. By subtracting 140 on both sides, we have 0 equals y squared minus 4y minus 140. By factoring the expression, we have y minus 14 times y plus 10 equals 0. So y equals either 14 or negative 10. However, since y is the length of a leg, this cannot be a negative number. So y should be 14 centimeters. So define x by substituting 14 into the original equation. X equals 14 minus 4, which is 10 centimeters. So the answer is one leg is 10 centimeters and the other leg is 14 centimeters.